Hi there, this is Focus on GRA and I am Carolita Edwards. On this week's edition, we will explain the process of obtaining a driver's license. We will also tell you how to obtain a shop or trade license. Focus on GRA begins now.
Drivers, need to renew your motor vehicle license? Skip the lines and save time by using the GRA's License Revenue Office drive-through facility, located at the GRA's parking lot, Camp and Lamaha Streets. Simply present your expired motor vehicle license and a copy of your motor vehicle registration at the front window, pay and uplift at the second window, and drive on your way. It's that easy. The LRO opens Monday to Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and Fridays up to 2:30 p.m. GRA, your partner in development.
The Guyana Revenue Authority continues to improve the services it provides to taxpayers. One such service is the issuance of a driver's license. An individual can renew or obtain a new driver's license at any of our integrated branch offices or at our head office situated on Camp Street. Here is an illustration of the process for obtaining a driver's license and how to obtain a shop or trade license.
The administration of the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 5102, sees the Guyana Revenue Authority issuing driver's license for first-time applications and renewals on a daily basis. The authority's mandate in this regard has seen nearly 60,000 licenses issued yearly, particularly at its Camp Street headquarters, where the majority of applicants converge. The demand for the service, which increased significantly after the GRA transitioned from the paper to plastic card, combined with an increase in motor vehicle imports, has significantly increased the demand for the service. This reality has prompted the Revenue Authority to implement systems to speed up the processing and issuance of licenses.
We have been trying to ask people to even to apply for these things online and get the renewals done online, so they actually make a one-stop shop instead of coming twice on these issues. And we have opened whereby we renew driver's licenses and these things within 3 months, between 3 to 6 months of them expiring. And we have also, after we have done the COVID, we have put in some COVID measures that we have also allowed the driver's license to be still active 3 months after these things.
Except for persons who are applying for new license, the GRA employs a system that allows the process of renewals to be completed within a short space of time. License holders are only required to submit the expired license and some form of identification to the lodgement clerk before proceeding to make payment at the cashier, thence to the dispatcher area to uplift their license. Senior manager in the License Revenue Office, who overlooks the process on a daily basis, summed up the average transaction time. She was at the time facilitating a walkthrough of the system with the GRA's Deputy Commissioner General, Ms. Hema Khan, and other officials.
We open at 7 in the morning, and when you come at 7 and within 10 minutes you're in and out of here,
yes, you can do
processing your license within 10 minutes.
Persons visiting the office to apply or renew their driver's license are directed to the tent, where they await instructions to proceed into the lodgement area. Priority is often given to the elderly, pregnant women, and incapacitated persons. First-time applicants are required to complete an application form and submit to the lodgement clerk along with a copy of a valid form of identification and one passport-sized photo. Before taking the applicant's photo and electronic signature, the License Revenue Officer in the lodgement area will review the paperwork. The applicant is then given a lodgement slip and notify of a date to return and pick out the license.
We also have as you would know with our plastic license, it's automatic renewal. Once there's no change to your data, your name, your address, you present your license and it is renewed instantaneously. at the lodgement here. There's no need to go down for supervisory approval. We would have cut that out completely to make the system more efficient for people coming in and out. So from here, once you've renewed here your plastic license, we then direct you to the cashier and then to the dispatch.
There are 7 cashier cages on the ground floor at headquarters, 3 of which facilitate payment of driver's and motor vehicle license and vehicle registration related transactions. The license fee of $4,500 can be paid manually or through electronic banking services at commercial banks and Mobile Money Guyana. GRA forged partnership with these institutions in 2015 to make these convenient services available.
A few years ago, we launched the online payments where you can pay via Republic Bank, you can pay us via GBTI, Jamar Bank, and Scotiabank as well. For persons who are desirous of paying us through those means, we usually request that they send us an email requesting our banking details to respective banks, so we can respond to them and indicate to them what are account numbers that they need to make the payments to. Subsequent to making payments, they usually send us an email how to apply the payments. We process the receipt, and for Republic Bank, GBTI, and Jamar Bank, we usually have a receipt available same day. So instead of coming here, they can pay us online. For Scotiabank, the following day, the receipt will be available. We also have other payment options such as Bill Express and MMG. You can pay your motor vehicle license, your taxes through MMG and Bill Express as well. But for those options, it's the following day you're going to have the payments. We're going to receive payment the following day and process the transaction then.
Notwithstanding the availability of these convenient payment options and the current system that allows applicants for driver's license to submit their applications and receive their license at the authority's 8 integrated regional tax offices, the majority of taxpayers still seem to favor the manual system, where transaction costs and delays abound.
Most people do not do that, number one. Number two is that all these services are available at our branch offices. And persons do not make use of those services at branch offices. They come to town and want to do it here. For a new driver's license, and they're going to tell you that, for a new one, we facilitate driver's licenses. The competencies and all these other issues are a question for the police. So if you have a problem with the competence, we can't do anything about it. So these are some, and then we still, even though we have the plastic driver's license, we still have those red books, right? And within those red books, we do not have records of some of the things that are in those red books. We do not have records of the competencies.
The Guyana Police Force's certifying officer issues the certificate of competence to the GRA for persons who were successful at the driving practical. In order for the GRA to issue the driver's license, the authority must be in receipt of this document. In 2014, the GRA replaced the red book with the plastic card driver's license. A few years after, it upgraded all its integrated regional tax offices so that persons in the regions no longer have to travel to the city. With the upgrading of the integrated regional tax offices, which are located in Mabaruma, Parika, New Amsterdam, Corriverton, Bartica, Lethem, and Linden, the GRA took over from the police the full authority to sell and issue driver's license. First-time applicants and renewals can submit the requisite documents at those locations instead of traveling to GRA's headquarters in Georgetown to apply. Persons applying through the regions will be required to wait for a period of 2 weeks so that the traffic officer at headquarters can receive the competencies from the various certifying offices, verify same, and submit to the GRA's headquarters. The waiting time also allows for the GRA's headquarters to verify, approve, and batch print the license. The printed license would then be dispatched to the integrated regional tax offices for issuance. This process takes approximately 3 days. Drivers who have the cardboard cover or red book license in their possession and are seeking renewals in the form of the plastic card license can also do so at any of the GRA's integrated regional tax offices. A more durable and secure version of the plastic car driver's license was introduced in 2019, following the initial launch of the first plastic car driver's license 5 years prior.
As you may have noticed over the years, the GRA has been progressively releasing a number of interesting and improved service. This is part of our broader strategy to ensure that we bring to you, our customers, improved quality of service in all of the areas in which we interact with you. We've started with the driver's license, and there are several others in the pipeline that will be released over the upcoming year. This new driver's license was primarily focused on improving the durability and the security features on the product. We heard your complaints. We saw a number of driver's license coming back to us faded depending on the usage, how it was used, how it was carried on a day-to-day basis. We recognized that there were smudges in the content and the signature area. So we worked along with our vendors to try and introduce a more durable product. On the market right now is much more significantly improved substrates and other technology around identity management. So we opted for the new polycarbonate base, which is a metallic composition. You may notice in several other first world countries, this is the substrate that is being used.
As part of improvements in the license revenue system, the GRA intends to introduce the license revenue processing system online. Although first-time registrants will still need to appear in person to have their official photographs and signatures taken, all subsequent renewals will be facilitated online through this system. In line with the Tax Act, Chapter 8001, the GRA's License Revenue Office also facilitates the selling of license to persons engaged in trade, profession, or vocation. Who must receive such a license is explained by the Supervisor of GRA's Trade and Miscellaneous License, Mr. Ryan Mahadio.
Who needs a trade license and what is a trade license? It's every person who occupies a store, a shop, a yard space, a shed, or anything close to that would need to take out an annual trade license.
Ryan Mahadio, Supervisor with responsibility for Trade and Miscellaneous License, explains the requirements when applying for a trade license.
The requirements are a complete application form, a valid form of ID. You would need the approval billing plan from the Ministry of Housing, the Central Housing Department, along with the stamp and sign from your RDC, NDC in the area, sanitary, and the Guyana Fire Service. You would also require your fire certificate and your sanitary certificate for the trade license. For persons who are applying for a trade license with land that is controlled by Amerindians, you would need the approval from the Tushao of that area.
Mahadio notes that depending on goods, wares, merchandise, or provisions being traded at your place of business, you may need to present additional documents to support your application. For instance, persons trading pharmaceuticals or over-the-counter drugs.
You would need your drug certificate from the Poison Control Board, which is a department of the Ministry of Health. If you are selling prescription drugs, you would need a licensed pharmacist on call. And also you would have to provide us with a copy of that person's certificate.
If your trade is food, you must also provide your food handler certificate when applying for a trade license. Mahadio notes that the cost of a trade license is dependent on the square foot of your business.
Once you bring your application to us, you would show us a designated square footage and we would input it in the system and it would generate a cost for you.
The trade license is valid for 1 year and expires on December 31. If you applied for your license during the course of the year, then it will be valid for the remainder of the year until December 31.
Before I go, let me remind self-employed individuals that the due date for the payment of the second installment of quarterly advance tax is due on or before July 1, 2022. Individuals who need more information can visit our website at www.gra.gov.gy. You can also send us an email at grapublicrelations@gmail.com.